so our next guest is actually not an author. She is the president and publisher of Intervarsity Press. And Intervarsity Press is one of the sponsors of this year's festival. And we're excited to have their support. And also, congratulations, Ms. Echols. I believe you recently were assigned the position of president and publisher, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations on that. And thank you for your company being a sponsor this year.
Oh, I think you're muted still.
Yeah. I think I meant to ask her to unmute, then I ended up muting. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here, and we're excited about sponsoring the event, and I'm actually attending, so I can't wait to get there and see everyone and participate. So it seems like a wonderful event. So I'm surprised we haven't participated before, but we're very excited about being there. So thank you.
Well, you all actually participated in the children's book competition that we do. The Black Authors Matter Children's Book Awards, and you all participated in that last year and this year. And I believe, I don't have the list with me, but I'm pretty sure at least one of your authors is a finalist this year.
Oh, so, that's wonderful.
Yeah. In fact, let me hold on one second. I think I have the list here. Let me see who it is. If I can. Okay, so now these aren't listed by publisher, so then not really helping me. I thought it was
just to throw you a loop, right?
Yeah, just make sure you listen.
Is he Macaulay with you all?
Yes, he is. Yes.
Okay. He is a finalist, and he was a finalist last year as well with his book Josie Johnson's Hair and the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
So anyway.
Hey, you got it on the first try.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I was looking it over. But I wanted the audience to know a little bit about Intervarsity Press and how old the company is and what your mission is and what kinds of books do you all publish. And you all are going to be participating in our publishers panel too this year. So
yes.
We have a lot of aspiring authors who attend, or authors who are self-published or looking to connect with publishers that they can do their books. So how old is the company?
And let's see, our company has been around for 75 years.
Wow.
Yes, just over 75 years. I know it's hard to believe, but yes, we're a 75-year-old company.
That's
amazing.
And
our true heart is really to publish books that edify the church, provide knowledge for university students, and also in order to help people with their walk. So we have a wide range of books from, we actually have some fiction books, we have children's line now, and then we also have academic books for colleges and seminaries, and we also have what we call our trade books for pastors and church leaders. We have books. So we kind of stretch the gambit of books, but truly it's about, since we have spiritual formation, so it's really about helping Christians in their walk. And IVP has had a long history in social justice and actually servicing and print and putting books out by authors of color. So that has been a hallmark, even back in the early 60s, and even for women, when women were sort of more marginalized. We actually our first the executive director was a woman back in the 50s. So it was something that was, so IVP has a lot of firsts when it comes to things like that, especially in the church, in the church. So so we have a very proud history of doing some of those things and actually kind of pushing the limits of when it comes to publishing authors of color, which now it's sort of which I would say is more in vogue now for a lot of publishers, but we've been doing it for quite a long time. So we're very excited about the idea of just continuing to give light to voices of color.
Now, is Celebration Place one of your books too?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and she won last year in the religious faith category.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Darina
Yeah.
Williamson, is
Yep,
that her name?
Darina Williamson, love Darina. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, her book.
Yes.
It was so simple.
Mm-hmm.
And the simplicity of it made it impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And when the judges met to judge, all of the books that were submitted, and we had some really good submissions last year and this year. We do it on a point system, and her book it touched everybody. It was just, this is simple for a child to understand.
Yeah.
And it's the simplicity of it is what really made
Well,
it
and we
happen.
truly want kids to feel that church is a place where they can feel celebrated, and
Yeah.
where,
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like we're losing our young people, so it's important that we get them early and they understand it's a place of comfort for them. So.
Right. Churches that have vibrant
Mhm.
youth ministries and children's ministries
Mhm.
tend to be growing because they're investing in the future.
Yes.
And when churches have a body, a membership that's basically over 50, the church can't live if it doesn't invest in time and energy into the next generation. It can't keep going.
Absolutely.
No, and plus young people want to go where there are other young people.
Absolutely.
Yep. I say that was how my daughter was. It's like my daughter was actually the person who, like, when we looked for a church, we looked for something for her first.
Yes.
So that because we looked for something for her first, and then we became a part because we really truly wanted her to own her faith as her own. And it starts early. It's like you don't want it to be the faith of my parents, because then when they go to college, then they kind of walk away. So it was really good. We found a great church with a great youth ministry, and it really fed her, and she, stayed with her faith. So that was important. So.
Now, I was just reading the press of this press release, and it says that you became president about 2 years ago.
Yep, just about 2 years ago. I was like October 13th, I think it was October 13th, about 2 years ago. So coming up on my 2-year anniversary.
2-year anniversary is coming.
Yes, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Tell us about that journey. I mean, because you had been with the company for a while, and then you were moved into the president's role. How was that transition, and how has the journey been since then?
Well, I started out, I've been here 5 years now, but I started out in finance. And previously, in my previous world, I actually worked at Christianity Today for almost 20 years. So I was there and in Christian ministry there, and then took about a year and a half off, and then was asked to come here and work. And when you say you're not going to do something again, then God always finds a way to make you do it.
Right. Don't tell God what you're gonna do. He just gonna laugh.
I know. Just don't tell him what you're not gonna do, right? Okay. So the gentleman who asked me to work here, he actually had asked me if I would, when he was going to move to a different role, he thought that I should be the person for the role, and I told him that no.
Like, I've only been here 3 years. Why would you do that to me?
I know. I was like, hey, I was like, no. And I was just telling somebody earlier today, I said, Peter and I have a lot in common, because he always tells God no 3 times before he actually does it. So that's me. I'm Peter. I'm always telling God, no, I was like, are you serious? No, I don't think so. That's not the way to go. And I had friends actually telling me at the time, and they say, Terumi, have you prayed about it? And I was like, no, I haven't prayed about it. And they're like, oh, well, why aren't you praying about it? I said, because I know what happens when I pray. And she
You,
said to me, she said, Tamara, you know that's not how this works. So
you
uh,
were avoiding what you do was likely to be the answer.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
sometimes I'm
So
like, okay, I don't really want to pray on this because I don't know what I want to happen. So let me
right.
just be
Yeah.
quiet and see what
Exactly, exactly. So I did get into the pool, and they had done a nationwide pool, and a pool, and I actually kept telling the gentleman when he would finish, each round, and because it was an outside company that was doing it. I
Hmm,
said to him, I said, I really don't, I just like, I'm not, he said, so how do you feel about being an internal candidate? And I said, well, it's not really, I'm not concerned about that. Really what I want is what's best, for the organization. And I said, and whatever God calls, me to, then that's what I want to do. And he just looked at me and I said that a couple times after he interviewed me. He said to me, are you sure you want this job? Because I guess I wasn't like telling them how, how wonderful, how all these great things
right.
that I was going to bring. I just said, I just really want to do what God wants me to do. Um, but I ended up in the job, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's like, anything, it's being a woman of color, and being the first woman of color, first being a woman, in this
Right.
role, and then being a woman of color in this role. And it's like I've got a great group of people who have been praying for me. The authors, a lot of the authors, that even the people that you've mentioned, we had a meeting where we brought in a number of African American authors and business people, because we really want to understand how to serve and reach the Black church. So we brought a bunch of people in, and I tell you, after that meeting, they laid hands on me, and they prayed and they sang, and it was a wonderful thing to have people, people of prayer, just being really wanting the best for you in the role that you're in. So it's a journey. Publishing is a tough business. It's a tough
Yes.
business. It's a very tough business. The economics of it is hard, finding the right people, and then trying to give life to a story for that somebody has breathed, they put their heart and soul into the work that they've done, and just trying to help them to breathe life into it, walk alongside them and bring that story into the best place that it possibly can be, and then reach the audiences that they're trying to reach. That's a tough job. It's a tough job. And it's hard for them, and it's equally hard for us, because we truly want the best for our authors, and actually to give ourselves as much as possible in the work that we do, because we believe so deeply in the
Right.
words that they want to share in edifying the church. So um, there's a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. So it's been as I've been here, we've done a lot of transition. We've actually gone through a lot of transition. We're selling our building. I'm selling the building. We're moving into a new space, updating technology, doing, all the things that we need to do in order to continue to be competitive in this world, because, in this environment, because you've got the Amazons of the world, you've got self-publishing, that's another, it's
Yeah.
not I think self-publishing has a place in publishing. But it's like that, it's also a place where, you have to, the standard publishing arm is very different. We have a much longer time frames and things that we work with, but we also do a lot of nurturing and feeding and trying to help our authors. So, but
Do
yeah,
you
it's been
find
a journey.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
find, oh no, I'm
Mhm.
just wondering, do you find yourself,
Mhm.
because of the space that you're in and because of the Amazons of the world, the self-publishing of the world, do you find yourself being a little bit more selective about who you bring into to get published into the company to
Um,
get published?
I think for us, we've always been pretty selective about who we bring into publishing. I think one of the things, I think one of the challenges is, especially in publishing, because you have so many voices that are out there, and you want to bring. We're in some ways, we're not really known for bringing in new people, new voices into publishing, and helping to nurture those voices and get them out there. Um, but I think that with, the Amazons of the world and things, everybody has, I think, people would probably just, I thought the other publishers in the world will be like, what? But I think everybody has a place. But I think that what we bring to publishing is unique in that we care for our authors very deeply, and you're not going to find that in a self-publishing environment or the Amazons of the world. So the selectiveness becomes in, topics, and trying to make sure you don't have, you know, you don't have 10 books on the exact same topic.
Right,
Because it
right.
doesn't serve the author, it doesn't serve your author well. And you can't give as much attention to 10 books with the exact, with the very similar stories. You really want to pick the one that you feel is actually going to do the work that they're hoping is going to get accomplished as well. So it's a partnership. It's very much more of a partnership. So I think that's where the uniquenesses come in with what I would say is traditional publishing versus the Amazons and the self-publishing, because you put out a product, you have somebody edit it, but that editor hasn't developed a relationship with you, doesn't understand what is the story that you truly want to get out there, and what is the heart and passion of what it is you're doing. And we really try to bring that heart and passion out of you, that the thing that you really want. And hopefully we're helping you to make the work better, and we wanted to have your voice, but we want to also help you produce something that's better than what you had that you actually even thought you could even produce on alone. And a lot of times with self-publishing, you're out there on your own. And it's like I've had people who have done self-publishing, and they're like, oh, I would have done that so differently if, after it's done, but it's now it's out there now. So it's like, so yeah. So I think that publishing has that unique, the traditional publishing has that uniqueness in it, that we actually are caring for the author and actually trying to help them along the path of where it is, and help them get to where they want to go, not trying to make it the place that we want to go, but truly trying to help them get their story, the story that they want out there.
Well, this is a great segue to a question that one of our audience members just asked.
Okay.
Jacqueline Bouvier Lee, she asked, how do you feel about ChatGPT and publishing? Because that's a big thing now, where a lot of people are saying that they're writing their books through ChatGPT, but that really does not get to the heart of the author, the way, like what you were just describing.
Correct.
So is that something that you're able to see? Because I know I've had an assistant that's not say, hey, I need you to give me some language on such and such. And then she'll give it to me and I'll look at it. The first time she gave it to me, she's gotten better now, of course. But the first time she gave it to me, it's like, wow, that looks really good, but it looks familiar. And then I went into ChatGPT and typed in something similar, and almost the exact same words came up. I'm like, I can't do this. This is like plagiarism.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I go through and massage. We've got to fix this.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
do you find that same thing happening in the publishing industry, where people are trying to write entire books using ChatGPT?
Well, I said we were laughing about this not too long ago. It's like, of course, it's like you don't. But I would say ChatGPT has its place. I won't say that it doesn't have a place. I think one of the things that we err on, and if we do, where we're using ChatGPT to like write an entire book, what we don't realize is that ChatGPT is only pulling from everything that's out there in the marketplace. So it's really not. What it's giving you is not giving you, it's not giving us you. It's giving us this hodgepodge of all of these things that are already in the marketplace in an attempt to try to write something original, where if from a plagiarism standpoint, I think we will get in a lot of trouble when it comes to that, because it's not just taking small statements. It's not taking a sentence from here and a sentence from there, and it's taking
paragraphs.
It's taking bulk content and putting it together with something else to say this is new. And I say, and we all know that, well, it really isn't new. It's just that we've got a few. So you put a few of those things together and you've got a lawsuit on your hands.
There you go.
So, right.
Funny story. I typed something into Chat GPT once, and then I said, okay, rewrite this and make it sound like a Black woman. All it did was put in things like honey.
I
put this out there. Yeah, girlfriend and honey. I'm like, my people know I don't talk like this.
Stereotypical.
I know, exactly.
And then I typed it in and I said, okay, make it sound hip hop. And then it went, what's up, fam? I got this crazy big deal right. I was like, okay, y'all can take this stuff word for word if you want to, but it won't be me.
Yeah, so
people are trying to see, whenever you try to skirt work to try to, it's like get rich quick. It's like this is a trend now. People are saying you can publish a book in 5 minutes. And it's really not a book. It's a journal. It's blank pages with a cover. That's not a book. Everybody is trying.
I'm going to write you a bestseller in 5 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's great for generating, if you need something to help stimulate your thoughts.
That's what I like to use it for. I'm trying to stimulate thoughts. Okay, get me on the track so I can write my own stuff. But do not take anything from Chat GPT word for word.
Right. It's like that's why I say for the person who wrote the question, it's like it's great as a thought stimulator, or if you're stuck and you're trying to think of, directions to go in, I think it's great for those kind of things, sort of a research type thing. Or even to get you to the place where you're able to start to form your own thinking around a particular topic. But anytime you start to basically use that as a tool to actually do your writing, I feel like it'll do you a disservice. It's like not only are there plagiarism issues, but it also is not helping people to really get to the heart of what it is you want to write. And as like we actually did something just recently at a board meeting that I was at, and one of the gentlemen, he's like, okay, well, I told Chat GPT to write this to write this paragraph as if it was me, because he does a lot of like podcasts and things. So he says, he said they wrote it. He says, well, he goes, well, that's pretty good, but I don't think I would say that.
I try to be original.
Right.
I really do. Like, I don't, when I'm writing, I don't read anything that's a similar genre to what I'm writing at the time, because I don't want to be influenced by it.
Right.
And I try to be original. Well, we only have a few minutes left, and I did want to let people know, how are you all looking for authors in Intervarsity Press, and just generally what your process is for people who want to sign with your company.
Yes, and we are always looking for authors with great books and great stories. And I think our process is generally, you would put together a proposal, and in that proposal, usually there's maybe a couple of chapters related to the book. There's your outline about, the chapters that you're writing on, and a little bit of detail on those chapters. So you've kind of fleshed out a little bit of the story. And then we also ask about their questions around, and I think we have details on our website too. So if people want to go to www.ivpress.com and then look for, there's a way to look it up as well. And then we're also looking for you to tell us, okay, what are some of the things that you are doing with regard to marketing, and what are some of your networks and some of those kind of things? What are some of your, are there certain individuals who would say they would actually be able to write something and say, yes, this person, and when you write the book, they feel like they can actually speak into the topic and say that you're a good writer, you're the person that they can speak well on this topic. that you can actually do an endorsement, people who might be able to endorse the book as well. So I think one of the challenges, especially these days, one of the things that is that authors have to have some level of network. You know, you have to start developing a network. It's important that you have a network, but not only does it help us to find the right people but it also helps us to, it actually helps us to market your book as well and find the right audiences. So, but it's yeah, there, I mean, there's a process, and it's a lot. It's a lot because we're asking you to give us a couple of chapters of your book to say, you know, you've actually thought through what it is you really truly want to write, and ChatGPT can't do that.
Well, that's a good way to end the interview. Your name is pronounced Terumi.
Terumi?
Terumi. Okay, so
Terumi.
the
Like
accent
Jeremy
is
with
on
a T.
the tail.
Yeah.
Okay, Terumi.
Terumi.
And we will see you in a couple of weeks in Houston
Oh,
at the
yes, I'm
Black
looking
Book
forward to it. I will
Festival.
seek you out. Rhonda, you're going to be there as well, I'm
Oh,
I
sure.
will be there. In
yeah,
fact, we're going to do another interview because I do all of the interviews during the event.
Okay.
And I live stream some of the featured interviews, but I would love to talk with you further.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I think that some people have a misconception when it comes to being traditionally published, and they think that they can just sit back and let the money roll in because you're doing everything. And I'd love to be able to talk with you about that misconception.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Would love to do that. Not a problem.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate maybe having the opportunity to meet both of you, and I'll be looking for you.
You will definitely meet us.
All right. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
All right. You
thank
take
you.
care.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye.